y'all, today we're going to be talking about one of your favorite subjects, something that y'all have asked for more of, and we're at the home of one of my favorite people. Hey y'all, I'm Miss Katie. Welcome to Heritage Ways, where we honor home, celebrate heritage, and spread hope. And we like to talk about and share good things with y'all. And today we're at my sister's house.
Hello.
This is my sister Anna, and I know that the littles have talked about Nana in a lot of the videos, so this is Nana. They love being at Nana's house, and right now they're playing with Cole, and y'all have seen Cole in several videos, so they just love playing with each other. Today we're going to talk about menu planning. Now, I've done several videos about this, and I've had a lot of comments that they've enjoyed the different perspectives and ideas and suggestions. So I like to bring videos to you of people in different living situations, like different sized towns or different sized families and that kind of thing.
We are a homeschooling family of 5, so I stay home and I homeschool, and then my husband works full-time. We have a senior in high school. She works part-time, and we have a freshman who is 15, and he works 10 hours a week for a local farmer, and then we have a 10-year-old. So we're not here all the time all together, but we live just outside the city limits, and we live on about 5 acres. It's all wooded, so we don't farm and we can't garden because we don't have any sunlight.
All right, how far are you from grocery stores, markets, that kind of thing?
We're 2 miles from Kroger and 4 miles from Publix.
Okay, so that gives an idea. I'll go ahead and ask you, how often do you go to the grocery store or get groceries?
My husband gets paid every 2 weeks, so I menu plan for 2 weeks out, and I go to the grocery every 2 weeks to do big shopping. I have to go occasionally to get fruits and vegetables and bread and milk, but
right. Which is on your way home from everything. So
Right.
it's not like you have to go out of your way.
Right.
So that's good.
So we're a homeschool family, so we're here all the time, but I'm not going to cater to everybody all the time, and so we only plan one big meal a day, and you're on your own for breakfast and lunch, but I will provide items in the refrigerator and in the pantry for you to go and get yourself, because the youngest is 10, and so that means everybody can feed themselves.
Right.
So if you can't make a sandwich, then you're gonna go hungry.
Got a problem.
And so I plan a big meal every night that we're here, and so my strategy is to write down, to look at the calendar when I make a menu, and so I know who's going to be here what nights. And if we're all going to be here, I try to have a bigger meal, something everybody likes to eat. And if we're not all going to be here, I try to portion that size out so that we don't have a lot of leftovers, because leftovers sometimes go to waste here. A lot of times,
I was going to ask that about leftovers.
Well, it depends on what it is, but a lot of times my husband will take leftovers to work. He usually takes his lunch to work 2 to 3 times a week. And then the other days he has business meetings at lunch, or he goes out occasionally for lunch. But so I don't provide his lunch every day. And the kids are here. My daughter works at a fast food restaurant, so she eats there for lunch most days.
So she gets like a discount or free or whatever. So
Yes.
that's good. That's helpful.
Yes.
All right.
And we go to tutorial 1 day a week. So only 1 day a week do we have to pack lunches for the kids.
Okay.
So.
And that is helpful when they're old enough to make their own sandwich, because a lot of y'all have little kids. Recently I talked to our cousin's wife, Kayla, and she was talking about having things. Now she's got a little one who can't necessarily make her own, but she has things for her husband to take to work, and if he wants to, and sandwiches and things like that ready for her older son to make. So that's a good point. Just because you're home all day doesn't mean you have to cater. I don't. Let me ask this, because I have always, y'all know we've got 6 children, 3 oldest are adults, and the 3 littles. 2 of those 6, I don't like to use the word picky, because we were not allowed to be picky growing up. I won't broach that subject. But as much as lieth within us, we were supposed to eat what was provided. So I'm just saying, I have 2 children who are picky eaters. But you've heard me say before, I don't necessarily cater, meaning I don't make 2 suppers for them. So do you have, how do you handle that if children don't like something? Do you make 2 full-blown meals or 2 for something, or do they just pick out what they don't like? Or
so what she's trying to say
No,
is when we were growing up, I was the one that was
selective.
in my food choices. So there are things that I will not eat, and as a grown adult, nobody has to tell me to eat them anymore.
Yes, that's true.
So because I'm selective, and
that's
means,
I like that word.
That means that I don't make weird stuff.
Okay.
I don't.
Okay, she doesn't make weird stuff, meaning she doesn't cook onions.
It's basic.
That's weird.
Or tomatoes.
Or tomatoes are weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, I do have one child that is very particular. My other 2 children are not as particular, but I do have one that is particular in what he wants, and he just has to pick out what he likes.
Well, that's what I was getting at. Because I know some mothers, they'll make a different thing, and I'm not doing that.
As my children have gotten older, though, if they don't like what I've made, then they have to make their own. I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
But like my 17-year-old, if she doesn't like something, then she'll politely say, I'm gonna have this instead. So
right. And if the 17-year-old wants fried okra and sliced tomatoes, she can come to KK's house, and KK will make that for her. So we're all good. We got it covered. We got it covered. Now, I just want, some mothers wonder, how am I supposed to deal with this child? Okay, do you have any dietary restrictions at all?
No food allergies. So I get my calendar out, and it's on a Word document. And so I have my calendar, and I have my Word document, and I just write out my Word document, and it's got, like, this one is for this week, Wednesday, December the 18th. And if we have something going on at night, I put that right beside the date. So I know we've got something going on that night. Or if only a few people are going to be here, I have that down. If one person's going to be gone, I have who's going to be gone. Or your children are coming over Friday night, so I have that written down on Friday night, and so that kind of helps me know what to plan. So then I plan 2 weeks out. I do that for 2 weeks. If I have a lot of time, I do it for a month. If I'm sitting at theater practice, or if I'm sitting at karate practice, or whatever, wherever I'm sitting, I find myself sitting a lot. Waiting. And so that's what I do. So I put on a Word document, and so I have my calendar. And so then I put my calendar away, and I get out my cookbooks or my cookbook notebook. I just have it all in a notebook. These are my recipes that I use fairly often. So I kind of have a rotation. Occasionally my husband will very politely ask that something be taken out of the rotation.
Because he's tired of it, or he doesn't like it?
He's tired of it, but it's usually something that's really easy for me, and that's what I do. I just do it easy.
Okay, so, that's okay. So,
but I do have another notebook that in red that is all things that I would like to try. So if I find something on Pinterest or somewhere else, I just stick it in there. And so occasionally we'll try something new, and usually it's a hit if I try something new. So
I like a notebook rather than a Word document.
And
that freaks me out.
All my recipes are in page protectors.
Oh my goodness!
So that I just pull it out and I stick it on my recipe holder, and then if it gets food on it, it doesn't matter.
Well, that's a great tip. Okay, so you said it's easy, but that doesn't mean it's not good. I mean, so you can have. So it's just simple, because you don't love to be in the kitchen.
No,
that's fine. Everybody does not. And you do other things. Your house is beautiful, and your family's wonderful, and you homeschool beautifully, and different gifts for everybody. On your list for this next 2 weeks, can you tell us one recipe, a menu, food item that you look forward to, that you like, that you're happy that's on that list?
Oh, well, Christmas is coming. So.
Oh, that's right. Well, that's true. And you guys are going to see this after Christmas. But nevertheless, okay, that's true. Christmas is coming.
But, so grits is on there. We don't really have grits at any other time of the year.
Cheese grits. Cheese garlic grits, of course,
not,
right?
Well,
you don't put garlic?
Just cheese. Smoked cheddar cheese grits. Yeah. It's okay with garlic, but...
I put garlic salt or powder. Mama always used, they don't make it anymore. Do you remember the tube,
Yes,
I don't know what you call it, cylinder thing.
They don't make
And
that.
it was looked like a hot dog shape.
Yeah.
And it's garlic cheese. And I guess Kraft made it.
We can't find it anymore.
And that's, so, it's like Velveeta with garlic added, made by Kraft. And that's what Mama used. So now I use, well, I don't use Velveeta. I use real shredded cheese. I mean, you know.
Right.
That's
We
what
don't
you
use Velveeta either. It's a Vermont something.
Oh, you have a
cheese.
certain kind you use?
Yeah.
Okay.
They only sell it at Publix this time of year, so.
By the way, do you bake it? Do you use, because the recipe I use, I bake it after I make it. Or do you?
Sometimes. It depends on how late we get up.
I mean, you don't have to, but I like it baked. Okay,
Yeah.
so you're looking for
I don't
the
really
cheese
have
grits.
I don't really have a favorite food. I don't,
We're alike and we're different, people. I'm just gonna say that my brother and I are the ones that fought over the last of the mashed potatoes growing up.
I could care less.
My sister didn't have that problem, and I do say problem because I will fight somebody for that. No, I won't really, but I'm a grown up now, so I try to act like it. But potatoes are, you know.
Yes, but I'm
my
first in
weakness.
line for the cookies.
And the ice cream.
So I don't have a favorite on here, but I like making soup. That's one of my favorite things to make just because it's easy. But I will say also, as I look down on here, my husband loves to try, he doesn't have the time to be in the kitchen like he would like, but he loves to try new things. So this week, he has given me ingredients for, I'm going to mess this up, carnitas?
I know, I've seen it spelled, and I don't know how to pronounce it.
I don't know. Anyway, so he wants to make that this week,
Is it
this
like,
weekend.
I mean,
It's a Mexican dish.
I know
with
it's
pork.
Mexican, but like, do you eat it on a plate or in something like a tortilla? I don't know.
We're having tortillas.
Okay.
So I guess it's kind of like a taco.
I've seen it on a menu, but I don't know how to. Okay.
So,
Okay, talk about him. Where does he get his recipes? Because he does cook a lot, doesn't he?
He loves to cook. He loves to cook if he has time.
Where does he find recipes?
He has. He's on a blog, a food blog. I think it's called the Food Lab, L-A-B.
Okay.
And this guy, it's like a science food blog, which would
that would bore me. Yes, thank you.
That's where he got that recipe, and he's excited. So we're going to do that Saturday night, and then Cole, my youngest, loves to make anything in the kitchen. Also, he likes to be in the kitchen. So to go along with that Mexican dish, he and I are going to make Mexican wedding cakes for dessert. Because that's
cakes plural, like it's not.
It's not a cake. It's like a.
Oh, I've never done that.
You roll it and then you roll it in powdered sugar. So it's like a.
You bake it. Is
Yeah.
it baked?
Yeah.
You roll it before or after the. I think I know
You
what
roll
you're talking
it
about.
and then you bake them and then you roll them. You roll them up and then you roll them. Bake them and then you roll them in the confectioner sugar.
Well, I'm not familiar.
So, anyway,
how about that?
So,
all right. Well, that sounds good.
I get my recipes mainly from Pinterest, because that's easiest for me.
But you print them off, you said.
I do. I print them off. I get them on Pinterest, or
I love that.
Look, first
Oh
one
my
I opened
goodness,
is yours.
That's mine. I love that one. Crock pot chicken and dressing. That's good.
This one I think came from Melanie Wiles or Missy
Okay,
Hazlett. I'm not
yes,
sure.
yes.
Anyway, so a lot of them are just written out
look at
from
that.
friends.
I love that.
Just friend or a magazine. If I don't want to keep the whole magazine, I just get the magazine.
Fresh homemade pasta. Have you ever made fresh homemade pasta?
We got this recipe when we were in Tuscany in Italy.
Oh, okay. You might get it.
We made it
Absolutely.
there, and then she.
Oh, you made it there in
We
Italy?
made it in Italy, and she gave us the recipe.
Oh, well, good. Absolutely. Keep that.
But a lot of them are just off Pinterest. If I'm going through a healthy season in my life.
We go through seasons. All of us do. We all do.
So, you know, it ebbs and
We all
flows.
do, yeah,
But,
no, we all do.
yeah, I mean, just a lot of them are handwritten from a friend. They'll bring
I
something
love that.
over and I'll say, oh, that's good, and they'll write it out. Or,
That's the best
or
kind.
something.
I mean,
So, but a lot of these are just torn out of a magazine or Pinterest, really. And I don't really use a lot of cookbooks. I mean, of course, we
that's
both have this one.
one of
Miss
my
Daisy.
favorites. I think I may or may not have made something or referenced. Oh, I think I told you about my cookbooks that I have on board. and I think this was one of them on our tiny home currently that we live in. But we love this. Mama was her friend. You knew that, right? And so this author and our mama were in the Home Demonstration Club of Nashville when I was like born and little. And they were friends. And then Miss Daisy went on to have several cookbooks printed and tea rooms and restaurants. And our mama went on to have us and our brother. Yes.
Yes. So,
all right. And taught us how to cook.
Did she sign yours?
Yes, she did.
Yeah. So.
Yep, that's right. All right.
And then I've got this one that we got when we got married. Some friends of ours at church. So I use this one a lot at Christmas. It just has basic things that I kind of go to.
That looks good.
Breads and desserts.
Breads and desserts. Cinnamon sour cream streusel loaf. Did I say that right? Streusel loaf. That looks good.
So this one has a Christmas lasagna my husband likes to make in it. Anyway, we just kind of pull this out at Christmas time and
I like those. Good. Okay, so do you use any kind of any help? Like
no. I like going into the store myself. By myself.
Yes, that is awesome. Yes, I do too. And
I enjoy that part of the cooking. I enjoy the planning and the organizing, the shopping and the organizing the food when I come home, and it pretty much stops there.
Well,
but my family enjoys eating, so
that's okay.
I cook.
Do you have any equipment that you go to, like kitchen equipment?
Yes,
that you like that helps you.
A 2-quart crock pot and a 3-quart crock pot and a 4-quart crock pot. So I have 4 crock pots. And sometimes
you need a 6-quart.
Sometimes, yes. And they also have those two
I know, I've
together
seen
that are
those.
smaller
I
portions.
want one. I know.
Yes.
I want one.
So crock pot is my favorite. And then I like spatulas and wooden spoons, but yes.
Yep.
Sometimes I have all 4 crock pots out, and it's just a family, it's just family night, we're eating together.
But you can cook a lot of things. You can do a drink in there, you can do drinks, and you can do...
Well, when we're gone all day, I can put my meat in one and my vegetables.
Yep.
And so...
And dessert, tell them about the
triple chocolate mess.
Triple chocolate mess. I shared the recipe with you, but I don't even know where I don't have it anymore. But it's a chocolate cake in the crock pot.
Yeah, everybody loves it. If you like chocolate, everybody loves it.
So I remember Christmas times, but do you remember other times? Because I don't necessarily...
Yes, so Sunday night sometimes, or maybe it was Saturday night, I don't know. We would have people would come over for watermelon on the front porch, and we would have tons of watermelon and homemade ice cream and salt
Church
put
people?
on the watermelon. Yes, yes.
I don't
So we
remember
did
that.
But then Mama always let us host parties all the time. I hosted a ton of parties
you
all
did.
the time.
You did. I mean, I did too, but you were the party queen
I was.
at home.
So,
the planning and the
yes.
thing.
We had all kinds of parties, especially Halloween, and y'all would, you come home
We're
from
older,
college.
so I'm 8 years older. So
You come home from college and
Yes.
dress up and be a part of it, and
Yes.
so yes. But my boyfriend at the time, and now my husband, she would always let the two of us have parties, and in the house or in the barn or in the garage or in wherever.
Yeah,
So-
Mama was good about that. Okay, so what about the food? Like, did y'all? Because I don't know. Did she cook the food? Did
I
you
don't
cook
remember
food?
that. That wasn't important to me.
Wasn't important. But you remember the decorating and the fun.
That was
and
important
the,
to me. Yes, yes. The
Wow,
decorations
you
were the
you
important
did
part.
have a lot of fun parties, and we were encouraged to be hospitable.
Yes.
I don't know that Mama ever said be hospitable. It's all about example.
Yeah.
And so anyway, this time of year we both, I mean, I don't in my current situation, but in years past we have had literally probably both of us hundreds, if not close to
Yes.
more than that.
Yes.
1,000 or more. Not thousands, but I did the math the other day, and if I've had, anyway, we've had hundreds of people in our homes, and
Yes, we enjoy it. We enjoy it. We've had 3 parties so far this December, and your littles came to one
Yeah.
of them. It was a church
Yes.
party. We had 50 5th and 6th graders in our home at one time, and 5 chaperones. So
The kids loved it.
It was a good time.
My kids, had a blast. It was their first one.
We try to, whenever our kids want to have parties, we try to let them, have their friends over. And Chloe had a dinner party last week, and we had about 25 people here, and so
good.
Yeah.
Good. Well, that's neat. So, and I want to encourage somebody, because I'm going to do a video about hindrances to hospitality, and here's where I'm going with that. I have friends that say, well, I can't do it. You do because of XYZ, and one of those is I don't like to cook. I don't know how to cook or whatever. But you can still be hospitable, right? I mean, give us 2 tips for the person who can't stand to cook or doesn't know how to cook or doesn't know anything about this. They have the space maybe and the desire, but they have no idea where to start to be hospitable.
Well, so what I've learned over the years, I didn't start out doing this, but what I've learned over the years is if I'm going to provide the main, whatever it is, if it's the meat or the lasagna to go with the Italian meal, whatever it is, provide the main food item, and then just ask people to bring stuff, because then you'll get a mix, a variety of people bring that, and people want to feel like they're part of the meal, so include them and let them, and then the host doesn't have to do as much food prep. And then you can do as much as you want. I try to have the meat or the main course, whatever it is. I try to have my drinks ready to go, my coffee, my tea, my lemonade, my water, whatever it is. And then everybody else brings the vegetables or the dessert or the bread. And then if somebody calls the day off, which does happen, and says, I can't come, well, okay, it's a corn dish. We don't have to have the corn.
Right.
So, if it's the dessert, then I run out and get dessert, because that is a necessity to the meal. The meat and the dessert. The corn, the bread, we can live without.
The tomatoes you don't need.
No, I don't ask for that to be brought.
Well, that's true, and my little practice is, if it's somebody's, it's my little fun rule for myself, but if it's somebody's first time to come to our house, and people, I don't know if this is everywhere, but in the South they say, what can I bring?
Yes.
And so the first time you come to my house, you don't have to bring anything. It's like your free card. And after that, when they ask, I let them. I let people bring things, because you said it makes people, I think, more comfortable if they bring something. And well, thank you so much for talking to us and sharing what you do. And I know this is going to help and encourage folks. And I'm just thankful for our heritage. So, thank you.
Thanks, y'all.
Bye, y'all. I have never turned away a stranger, but have opened my doors to everyone. Job 31:32. Mama was a busy homemaker, minister's wife, and she wore many other hats. Oftentimes she had to be away from home, and she would leave Katie, as a 9, 10, 11-year-old girl, at home with a list of things to do in the kitchen. Let's finish taco salad for lunch, heat squash in the small toaster oven and any other leftovers. Tuna salad on Wednesday, boiled eggs in gold bowl. Use 2 for tuna. You can fix other dressed if you want to. I love you, Mama. White sauce in the refrigerator. Please cook the beets for either lunch or supper. We'll freeze the squash right after supper, and we might can the beets.